If you've ever felt like you're constantly chasing content, posting here, filming that, writing this caption, sending the email, you're not alone. The truth is, you don't need more content. You need to do more with what you've already created. So, you want to make an impact. You're thinking about starting a business, sharing your voice. How do women do it that handle motherhood, family, and still chase after those dreams? Well, listen each week as we dive into the stories of women who know. This is Call Me CEO. Hey everyone, it's Camille here with another episode of Call Me CEO, the podcast to help moms build businesses without burning out. And today I'm breaking down one of the most powerful strategies that has saved me time, boosted my visibility, and helped me show up consistently online without feeling like I live on my phone, which, let's be honest, sometimes we feel like we choose to live on our phone. Sometimes it feels like it's thrust upon us. So today we're talking about repurposing. And if you're not doing it yet, or if you feel like you're doing it randomly, I'm here to walk you through a clear, simple framework that'll totally change everything. So let's dive in. And if you're new here, please know that your being here means a lot to me. I've been recording this podcast now for 4.5 years, and it is so amazing to learn all the different ways that women are building businesses, especially mothers who are able to create and live according to the way they want to dictate their day and make it all come together. So, my hat's off to you. Thank you so much for being here. Please subscribe. And if you feel the urge, any review or sharing of this episode means a lot to me. So let's get started. Let's talk about first why repurposing matters. What is the why? One of the number one freebies that I have on my website is discover your why, because oftentimes when things get hard, we want to go back to that why of what is it that keeps you showing up and keeps you consistent. So if you have not taken advantage of that yet, please check the show notes now and get your 5-day roadmap to discovering your why. If you've ever felt like you're constantly chasing content, posting here, filming that, writing this caption, sending the email, you're not alone. The truth is, you don't need more content. You need to do more with what you've already created. This is a big key in something that I help coach women through all of the time is how do we repurpose? How do we delegate? How do we create more white space? And how do you take a concept or a piece of content and repurpose it in a way that makes it maximize your efforts for your time? This is where having a virtual assistant comes in. That's huge. I've covered that a lot, so I'm not going to talk about that right now. But if that is something you need help with, I help with people with that as well. When you repurpose, you take one core idea and you turn it into multiple pieces of content, and each one is customized for a different platform or format. And you're working smarter, not harder. The best part is that repurposing helps you to reach new people without having to reinvent the wheel every single day. So, where I'm creating this video content, this can go onto my podcast, it can go onto YouTube, it can go onto short reel videos or onto TikTok if I wanted it to, and also to turn this into an email, a newsletter. So, how do we get started with creating the core content, this method? Let's talk about how we can do this. So, step one is starting with your piece of core content. This could be a podcast episode, like I mentioned, a blog post, a YouTube video, or a live training. Let's say that you record 10-minute podcasts on how to start a virtual assistant business that becomes your core content for the week. And then step two is to extract key ideas from that core content that you can then pull out to put into other places. That could be 3 to 5 major takeaways. It's a favorite quote, a question for your audience, a personal story, or something that you could share as an example. It could also be captions that you turn into a carousel or something and turning that into repurposed content. So, an Instagram carousel, a TikTok or reel talking about the tip or the thing that you're sharing, a quote graphic for Pinterest or Instagram stories. You could send an email to your list with a personal angle or story behind that. You could take one blog post or LinkedIn article and expand on the topic, or even make a short video teaser to drive people back to the full episode. So see how you just took one piece of core content and it creates a full week of visibility with minimal extra effort. If this feels overwhelming to you in the beginning, you could pick two things that you start with. Maybe it's an Instagram carousel piece as well as an email to your newsletter. Hey, my friends, just popping in here really quick to say if you are drowning in a to-do list but never actually getting anything done, I hear you. This is the time to take back control of your day. And I've created a product for you for free that will help you to do this. It's called the Ultimate Time Audit and Productivity System. It is a free resource to help you pinpoint exactly where your time is going and what you should be delegating. My coaching involves a lot of time spent with business owners who are losing time, valuable time, on menial tasks that they could either delegate or create a system around, but first needing to understand how their time is being used. So imagine having more time for your family, your business, and yourself without the constant overwhelm. You can grab your free copy in the link below or at camillewalker.co and start working smarter, not harder. camillewalker.co is the website, but go ahead and grab that link below. And I would love to help you take back your time right now. Now, why my favorite repurposing shortcut? I'm going to give you one of my favorite tips here. It's called the Domino Blueprint. So how it works is you pick one topic or idea that aligns with your offer or message, and you record a 10 to 15 minute video about it. Super casual, even selfie style. Then you slice that video into 5 short form clips. That could be 2 quotes, 1 graphic, and 1 email. All of a sudden, you've got 10 pieces of content from 1 video. And if you're curious about how to turn your ideas into content machine, I've linked my favorite repurposing tool in the show notes. This can be used for YouTube videos. This could be used for blog posts. And the neat thing is that if you even wanted to, you could take the content and plug it into AI, and it could take a transcript of what you shared in your video or your blog post or your podcast, and it will segment it for you if you feel like you need help in chopping it up. So what stops people from repurposing? It's a really good idea to do this. And what stops us? I can tell you what stops people most of the time is, number 1, overthinking. They might think, oh, isn't this repetitive? Like, I've already said this, so why would I say it again? Or why would I share it in so many places in so many different ways? Well, here's the truth. People rarely see 10% of what you share. And to imagine that someone is seeing what you're sharing everywhere across your podcast, your blog, your socials, it's just not happening. Repetition is actually essential for brand trust and clarity. So you do want them to hear you say the same things over and over again, because chances are they're missing it most of the time when you're sharing it. Another thing is perfectionism is what will hold people back, that you imagine it needs to be edited, captioned, branded. And I've always said done is fun. If you can get it out there and you're making the content and you're sharing it, it is good. Done is better than perfect. Start messy, clean it up later. Or even sometimes I think for me, where as a kid or as a student, I always thought, oh, I need to get that A. I need to get the A. But B- work is oftentimes better than not posting at all. The last thing, number 3, is a lack of systems and not knowing what to post where. So that's where a repurposing calendar or framework can come in to plan once, rinse, and repeat. Keep it simple and keep it the same so that you're not trying to figure out how to redo this, how to come up with a way to keep it consistent. If that is something that you've struggled with, I would love to help you with that. You can DM me on Instagram at camillewalker.co or at Call Me CEO podcast. So for wrapping this up, I want you to consider your action steps about how you are going to implement this week. So First, I want you to pick one piece of core content that you've already created, whether it's a podcast, a blog post, or a video or anything. Break it down into 3 to 5 smaller pieces using the format I shared, and then schedule it across different platforms this week. You will be amazed at how much you get done, how amazing it'll feel, and with way less effort. And remember, you don't need to be everywhere all at once, all of the time. You just need to show up strategically, and repurposing is how you can do that. If you are struggling with time and you don't have the ability to share everything everywhere that you want to, this is where having a virtual assistant comes in really handy. And that is something I can help you with. If today's episode gave you some light bulb moments, would you please do me a favor? Screenshot it, share it on Instagram, and tag me at camillewalker.co or Call Me CEO podcast so I can cheer you on, and make sure to tag me so I could even reshare it. And if you want my full repurposing playbook, you can go to show notes and link. I have resources there for discovering your why. And also, I have a Canva repurposing. It's like a Canva repurposing breakdown of how I can share that with you too. Until next time, keep building your dream one smart strategy at a time, and make sure to subscribe. I would love to have you have all of these tools and resources at your disposal. Have a great week, and I will see you next time. Hey CEOs, thank you so much for spending your time with me. If you found this episode inspiring or helpful, please let me know in a comment and a 5-star review. You could have the chance of being a featured review on an upcoming episode. Continue the conversation on Instagram at Call Me CEO Podcast. And remember, you are the boss.